Now, you've just done a new movie called Split with your friend M. Night Shyamalan. Can you just quickly tell us, Betty, you are one of the legends of Broadway. You still you still like doing film and television. Can you just tell us what do you get out of appearing in a film that you're not getting out of your Broadway career?
Oh, I don't view them as like in comparative ways like that. I just, the process of shooting a film with a great filmmaker like M. Night Shyamalan is, with a team like has a team of people around him that are just such great artists, and to work with a wonderful actor like James McAvoy was a huge blessing. I was really thrilled to get to be a part of it. And I love working in the theater, musical theater as well. They're just different genres, but it's always about the group of people you're working with, fundamentally, I think.
How would you describe the movie Split, and what would be your cinema foyer pitch for someone to go see the movie?
Split is a psychological thriller. It's a really great story. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, with an incredible central performance by James McAvoy, who stars in the movie as a man who has 23, who suffers from dissociative identity disorder and has 23 personalities, with the ultimate manifestation of a 24th on the horizon. And I play his psychologist, who's trying to help him incorporate those personalities. And it's a brilliant, the way Night unfolds the story is really wonderful and sleek and modern, and it's really a good movie. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's also very thought-provoking about the powers of the human mind. I think it's great, and I'm really, really happy for Night.
Well, it's very nice of you to say how wonderful James McAvoy is in the film, and he is good, but so too are you. You play a very convincing psychiatrist. I'm very keen to know how you got into the role, if you did any special preparation for it.
Yeah, I worked with a psychologist friend of mine here in New York. We spent a lot of time together, and while I was on the set, I also worked with her on the phone. I did many sessions with her in New York in preparation for the movie, and then also stayed in touch with her during the shooting to be sure that I was still getting the details right and remembered them exactly as she explained them to me, so that I was, maintaining the professional decorum of the character. Like, what was the character going through personally, but how was she meant to behave with her patient or client, if you will, played by McAvoy and his myriad of people that he becomes. And so then I also read two books that Knight recommended, and a book that I found about multiple personalities. I've also been very intrigued with the subject matter since I was a kid, and saw the movie that starred Joanne Woodward and won her the Oscar, The Three Faces of Eve.
My God, yes.
And then I love that movie, and I thought she was great. And I've been fascinated by the subject matter of, how powerful the human mind is, and how creative in circumstances of that kind of pain and suffering and torture that that people have gone through, that manifest these different personalities. And then I read those books that Knight recommended as well, and so there was a lot of research to that. Oh, I also like the book Sybil in the film about...
That's obviously the main movie comparison that I think people will be making. Your singing is almost beyond compare, and you have the awards and the acclaim and the reputation to back that up. I'm keen to know if there are any similarities between immersing yourself in a song and immersing yourself in a role.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've got this new grouping of songs that I've done recently called Story Songs. I would really love to bring it to Australia. So I just created this show, Story Songs, and I wish you would say that I would love for some insightful producer to bring us, with this incredible band, bring us to Melbourne, and so I could share it with everybody over there. Anyway, it's also a new recording that's being released by Palmetto Records in February. So I'm very excited about it. I would say that, doing a concert of beautiful story songs is like a series of short stories and little portraits of characters, whereas being in a film is a more comprehensive revelation of who that character is in the story. So like a film is like a little novella, and a concert or is like a series of short stories, and a musical theater piece is again like a longer story.
Listen, we're going to make history, you and I, right now, because we like to think that the internet has everything. But one thing that the internet does not have is what you say to Harrison Ford while he's in the shower in the Roman Polanski movie Frantic. What do you say to him that we can't hear that makes you leave that hotel room and go meet with your kidnappers?
She gets a phone call from the lobby with saying she has a package at the desk, and she thinks it's like her luggage or something. So she goes downstairs, and she's letting him know that she's leaving the room. And as I recall the scene, and then they grab her.
Yeah, that's right. But what you're saying to him is very angry, though. In the scene, it looks like you've gotten a phone call that's made you mad at him.
No, it's like he's not hearing me, and I don't think I'm mad at him. I think I'm just having to say it over and over again to let him know I'm there. So
Okay.
She's raising her voice to be heard.
And do you remember the line of dialogue that you said?
I don't remember that. Do you?
No, I don't. And I have tried to hire lip readers, and they can't figure it out either. But I think we're going to have to leave that.
I'm going downstairs. We've got a message at the desk, something like that.
Okay.
That's all I think.
Okay, well, we're going to have to leave that to myth, I think. But it's
Okay.
And it's such a great performance in that film. Listen, you've been playing Big Edie in Grey Gardens to great acclaim. What is the enduring appeal of this story about two eccentric women living in a ramshackle mansion?
Well, I think it's pretty hard to grasp how these debutantes and women of such great wealth could have let their lives just fall apart that way. But, and that took a lot of work for the director, Michael Wilson, and my wonderful co-star, Rachel York, and I to figure out, with the research we did and the studies we did, how this phenomenon could happen. And I think that's that people are so intrigued by the story and it's bewildering to examine how that could happen. So I think that's part of the mysterious pull of the story. That's been, I saw the documentary when it was first released in New York City all those years ago, and it was fascinating. How could that be in our culture? It did happen.
It is still an amazing story. Betty Buckley, my final question to you, and I hope you don't mind me asking, but you are a very strong-minded and outspoken person. How do you feel about the... That's how we know you. But
Well,
I'm just...
That's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm very keen to know what you feel about the ascendancy of President Trump, and if you've come to terms with it, and if you're looking forward to the next 4 years.
I'm looking forward to the next 4 years in that I refuse to give up hope or conviction that the world can't continue to evolve and that humanity can't continue to come together in a loving and respectful and cooperative way with one another. As for our current state of government, I'm in dismay, and I, have, we can't allow this to become normalized. That's my feeling.
Do you think that he will grow into the role and become a good president? Are you optimistic that might happen? Or are you defaulting to the standard position of a lot of people to be really pessimistic and worried about?
I refuse to be pessimistic, but I think in terms of my understanding of human psychology, I don't have any expectations of him ever being anything other than precisely who he is. And I think he's made it very clear who he is. So, my hope is that we as a humanity will continue to grow nonetheless and survive and flourish nonetheless.
Congratulations again on your wonderful performance in Split. It does remind us of what a wonderful Hollywood career you could have had the Siren of Broadway not seduced you.
You're very kind to say that, Jim. Thank you. I personally, quite frankly, love the eclectic nature of my career, and I'm glad that I've been able to do all these different genres and work with all these remarkable artists that I've been so blessed to get to collaborate with. One of the best of which is M. Night Shyamalan. So anyway, thank you so much. I'm glad you liked the movie. Tell one of those Melbourne, Sydney, Australian producers to bring us over there. I want to share my songs with you. I love Australia.
Do you have any happy memories of Melbourne?
I love Melbourne. I love that park. I used to go running there every day. I've been to Melbourne several times for the Melbourne Arts Festival, and then I shot a mini-series there for Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg, The Pacific, and made 2 trips to Melbourne for those shoot days. So yeah, I've spent some time there. I'd love to come back.